What is up, everyone? Roaming Cyclist here, coach and owner of TRC Performance Coaching, um, also professional endurance athlete, etc., etc. The purpose of today's video, it's long awaited, but if it's going to be done, it's going to be done correctly, in my opinion. My frustration with the Trek cockpit is a widely known amongst my circle. So I set out to solve this problem on my own. I don't get the same level of support as the contracted athletes do. I'm very honest with all of you. You are all going to experience this frustration. And if you have the new speed concept, drop a comment down below. What have you encountered? Chances are, if you've encountered it, I've encountered it as well, and I've solved that dilemma or problem. As a athlete who races at a very high level, professionally, what have you, I have to have confidence in my equipment. The speed concept from 2022 is exceptionally fast underneath me. 26 miles an hour, just cruising around all day in race conditions. I'm not sure yet because I fractured my back. Just real quick catch up. My focus since March 9th, when I fractured my lower spine, has been strength and conditioning and rehab. I've been working with Dave, my new strength coach here in Stafford, Virginia. And I can put his information down below. So if you're in this area, Stafford, Fredericksburg, Woodbridge, Lorton, etc., he really understands me as an athlete and what I do, and tailors those plans and our workouts to what I need to do competitively. And that's what we do twice a week, because essentially I am back in base building again, right? So we're doing strength twice a week. Could be 3 times, but I think 2 times a week is perfect from where I'm at, because I'm kind of riding that razor's edge of my fracture healing still, and sometimes it feels uncomfortable and sometimes it doesn't. And then I've been doing a lot of work on the bike to improve my cycling power, to make it better than where it was. That's not a globe, but I started as a racing on the road, so my bike handling and power and output and those sorts of things are naturally stronger than someone who was a swimmer and then came into triathlon and duathlon and, maybe wasn't a naturally gifted runner or cyclist, but, of course we have to do those events during triathlon and duathlon. So that's what I've been working on. My running is not really. So I have the lever. I got it from my treadmill downstairs, and I use that probably twice a week. The rest of the time I'm doing a workout of basically walking at an incline, 40 minutes to an hour, just really activating those muscles. So that's not why you're here for this episode of my channel. But I just want to do a quick catch up. I haven't done a video in a while, and I'll start doing these, and I always say I am going to do them more frequently. But once a week I think I can commit to, and I'll do these once a week. And it'll vary between my training, what races I'm getting ready for, what equipment I'm trying, what things I'm doing to my bike, and triathlon coaching and duathlon coaching. I'm a fully licensed triathlon coach. I worked really hard to get that done. And that plan has been added to my offerings. Eventually I will progress to triathlon in general. and phase out the individual sports, because triathlon, duathlon, and the venues underneath triathlon require a lot of focus. And with the swim and the bike and the run and all of the things that go together to make a good race for somebody, I want to be able to focus on that. The price is not going to change, most likely. It's going to be $200 a month for triathlon coaching, and all the standard bells and whistles on that. You get me, obviously. I've attained elite status in the triathlon world. Not to say that makes me a good coach, because it doesn't make everyone a good coach. But in my purpose, I have coaching license, USA Cycling, USA Track and Field, USA Triathlon. I believe in the education of it. I'm a student of it, and I believe I have the best philosophies, as we all say we do, but I am in it. I am in the ropes. I am competing at a high level with my approaches, and I have athletes that are benefiting and having PRs on the cycling side and that sort of thing. So if you're interested in coaching, you can put your information down below if you want to. A lot of people go to my website. I see when you go to my website, but for some reason, you're not making that commitment. I believe everybody deserves a coach. Coaching is important, especially in triathlon. There are so many intricacies of the sport, from equipment to, chances are I've bought it, I've tested it, I've thrown it in the closet, or typically I donate to Goodwill, everything. So if you live in Stafford, Virginia, you see some crazy things showing up to Goodwill, because I spend my own money doing this. I enjoy doing it. I look for every aero advantage that I can in the bike, in the suit. I'm not going to donate my suits because they got sponsor logos on it, so you're not going to see someone running around in that other than me. But as far as like bars and saddles and those sorts of things, that I donate all that, and helmets, or I sell it on eBay for cheap. I just want to pass it on and do that. So if you're interested in triathlon coaching, duathlon coaching in the long course, I can also coach sprint and Olympic and intermediate, but I am a long course specialist. That goes with nutrition advice, equipment advice, race day power planning, etc. All that, $200. Don't care. No restrictions on communication or plan changes. A lot of times you'll see that happening. And I guess it's because my job is as an athlete and a coach. And I take that very seriously. If you text me and you have a question, I'm going to answer the text. You can ask anybody I've coached. I'll respond. I keep wacky hours. We're doing this video at 9:15 because I could not go to bed again until this bike cockpit was complete to my satisfaction. So all my information will be down below. If you have questions, drop your name down below. Follow me on Instagram at The Roaming Cyclist. Ask me your questions. People have been wanting me to get this bike done. I've been trying to get the bike done, but I'm not a bike mechanic or a fabricator. But I race this bike. I need to know that it's going to perform, and if it doesn't perform, it's on me, right? So I can't go and blame my mechanics at Trek and Stafford. Everything was meticulously done. I've made some modifications to the modifications so that it would meet my standards that I have. I don't know about the position, the position's pretty much locked in with how this cockpit is, and I'll put picture. I've been taking pictures and posting them on my Instagram, and I'll drop a couple of them in here sprinkled throughout, just so you can kind of get a time lapse of how things progress. I know I said I was going to do a step-by-step, but my goodness, this took a while, and I'm still training and rehabbing and doing cryo and infrared sauna at Float Stafford, so bear with me. If you have questions, send me a message or send me a text. All my information or email will be down below. Make sure you follow me on this channel while I'm at it, and subscribe and hit the bell button so that you know when I drop content. Because if I'm going to drop content, it's going to be a review of some equipment you probably want, a modification of this bike, which you may want or have on order and not getting until 2023, and hopefully you'll have all this sorted out. I still think even with new bars, the cockpit's going to be frustrating for anybody over 6'1". That's my opinion. I am 6'3". I am all appendages. That's what makes me a good swimmer and runner, and I need the cockpit to support that, which I don't think the last one did, and I think maybe we contributed to some things. Who knows? A lot of factors went into that, but I couldn't fit comfortably, perfectly on the bike, and I need to do that over 56 miles and 112 miles when I move up to the full Ironman. So, where are we at? So, I've had the speed concept since February. I've had it fitted twice. And for, you might think that's odd, but for me, something never felt exactly right. On here, I have the Cell Italia carbon saddle. I don't really like that one. I'm waiting on World Bike to come out with their saddle, which I've been eagerly anticipating, and I'll put that on there. I like the integrated bottle cage thing and all that. I have put on Wahoo Aero pedals, speed plate pedals now. I do like those very much. I feel really connected to the bike now. And if you think about it, I can think of one course where I need to unclip to make transitional turns, and that's in New York during long nationals. By then the springs should have worn in and it should be easier to do that. But right now I look like a total clown trying to clip in like it's amateur hour out there. But I really like that. If you think about it, the shoes stay in the pedals, they're rubber banded, they never come out. So if you're not working on that in transition, I would go into a field. You can't really do a bike jumping mount with a real bottle cage. That's going to lead to a disaster. But, to make that rolling kind of get on and get on top of the shoes and pedal and then get into them, that's safe. I see these transitions at the Multisport Nationals this past weekend, and congrats to all those. I was supposed to be at both of those, draft and non-draft. Little back fracture. It's sort of frustrating as an athlete who had very high fitness going into Clash Miami, and to sit on the sidelines for that. It is what it is. I can't look past. All I have is in front of me, and right now what is in front of me is a time trial up in the mountains in Richlands, Virginia, that I'm going to do just to race this bike. I need to get back into that routine. I have Clash Watkins Glen, which I'm not sure about. There's a lot going on at that race logistically, and that is a bit of a mixed bag, and I'm not sure, and we had some things and whatnot, and I'm not going to go into that interaction and exchange. And then I have a road race, a 100-mile road race in North Carolina, and then training camp. I'm trying to find some triathlons to do in there to get those under my belt, and then long nationals, and then I'm going to most likely race the triathlon in the age group at Clash Daytona. That has an elite field and a prize purse, and then that should be a couple of the races if I do well in those according to the standard, and then maybe pinpoint age group nationals or another developmental race like at St. Anthony's or something like that, and then I should secure hopefully my triathlon professional card. I got the duathlon card in 3 races within 4 months. So I'm very focused. This is my full-time job. This is all I do. I train, I coach, I eat, I sleep, I wake up, I do it all over again. So I have the benefit and really a luxury to focus full time on this. And as long as my body stays healthy, I'm changing a lot of the things that I do. But Speed Concept Cockpit version 1, no bueno. Speed Concepts Cockpit version 2, aesthetically, very bueno. Full carbon elbow pads. I have a BTA mount. It has this computer mount that I got with it. And then what I do like, and I'm going to bring you in here, at the end here, because I use SRAM, all right, and I have a mixture of SRAM red, oversized. I got a 54 tooth chain ring in the front on the bike with a SRAM red oversized derailleur, which is necessary for that chain ring, or else big problems. Make sure you put a spacer in too, or it doesn't work right. And then SRAM force. The reason I did that is because one, it got me the bike faster. I knew I was going to change most of the components anyway, so it didn't matter to me. It's the same frame, 800. I've upgraded pretty much everything. The cranks are 165 millimeter. That is absolutely preferred. I think most bikes, all bikes that are coming out stock, are over cranked. I think a lot of bike fitters would agree with me on that. I think it's setting people up for injuries and problems. And you're not getting the best performance out of the bike, right? Because these are your touch points. The pedals, the hands, the saddle. Pedals are where the power is, and so I think it's over cranked. I think it helps the amateur cyclist feel confident on the bike. But I think if you went and got a bike fit, which I recommend everyone do, I think you'll find that the cranks are oversized. You could go down like 2.5. I wouldn't make a 2.5 millimeter. If you're going to go down in cranks, I'd go down at least 5, right? So all my bikes came with 175 millimeter crank. I went down to 165 on this because of the position. On the Madone, I went down to 170, so I'm within 5 millimeters, right? Because what I was finding is that I was having wonky issues going from one bike to the other. And then obviously the mountain bike is different, and the Damani also has 170 millimeter cranks on it. But we're here for the cockpit. I saw this cockpit on Tim O'Donnell's bike, and I emailed Drag to Zero, and I'm like, I want that cockpit. I need that cockpit. What do I need to do to get that cockpit? And they said, hold on, you're just a little professional. They didn't say that, but that's how I feel sometimes. These guys have earned what they get. And, when I see things on their bikes and I'm just like, I want that. Sometimes I get it. Sometimes I got to make it myself. And in this case, I made it myself because I can't get his cockpit because it's not out yet, is why I couldn't get it. But I saw him riding. I think he was in St. George doing a training camp. I saw him on the bike and I'm like, what is that cockpit? I zoomed in real close on the picture and it said D2Z. And I'm like, I'm going to email them. Aero Coach came out a couple weeks ago with a cockpit. I don't like their bars. And I don't like a one-piece cockpit. With this, I'm able to swap bars if I need to, although it's a real pain in the butt to get the cords in here and all that, but whatever. I like this cockpit. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing with the carbon bars, and all that. There's a good amount of flex so I can brace against the elbow pads. And then obviously these clicks right here, the handles. So I didn't have to wrap these. It came with the air ergonomic grips, I guess is what they call them. And my blip clips slid right into them. These slide over the ends of the bars, and then there you go, you're in it. There's a good amount of flex in here, for comfort, I guess. But mainly my hands are going to be very close together, or overlapped or over, depending on how things are going. So as you can see, these are the high-rise bars. I like a high hand position, which I could not achieve with the other cockpit. And most of saw pictures of my stories of me and my pinkies on the blip clicks of the to ride, and that's how I was descending and climbing in the mountains of Luray. On that bike, it was not ideal. So I wanted a bike that I could get my hands back up higher. I had the original speed concept. I had the Speed Shot 51 bars in there. Got my hands up high. I like that position with the proprietary nature of the cockpit. On the other one, on this one that came with it, could not do it, could not adjust it, was not ever going to be a long-term solution. So if you're tall, I'm your guy. I don't know how many have done this. I'm from what I believe I could be one of a handful, like 4. I don't know. That did it in his garage. You know, I'm sure Tim has his mechanics and whatnot. But I wanted to put it together because, you know, for me, I want to be able to relay that to you because you're going to experience this. I've been through the trials and tribulations of installing this cockpit with my Dremel and you know having to modify the modification. And so I'll go through this really quick. So as you can see, these are my bars, right? And so they're high rise, and I could put pads here if I want, but I don't. I mean, my arms are going to be pretty comfortable, I think, here. I got this 76 Racing computer mount that goes between. I'm not crazy about it, but this is what I got right now for a Garmin mount, and then I have an adapter for the Wahoo. As you can see, it came, which I had to drill 2 holes on either side in the pads to mount, but I have a BTA that looks proper, not zip tied and electrical taped. And it, you know, everything really flows nicely. You get in the back, you can see no wires. You can't see my wires. And these end caps, I had to drill 2 holes next to where they are supposed to come out because of the nature of the riser on the speed concept. So I fed the blip cord through that hole and then down into the riser tower, into the compartment underneath here, right? So that hid the wires, which was an absolute necessity. I cut about probably 6 inches off this bar to get that to fit properly. Now, that's my workbench. So if you're in this area and you want to do this, Jimmy, I don't know. I know you like to fabricate stuff. I got carbon sheeting up there too, if you want to use that. But I got all the tools. I don't always have the know-how, but you know, if you take it slow, you'll figure it out. It's best to work on your own bikes. That way, you know, and you don't have to depend on anybody. Now I'm sponsored by Trek Stafford, so anytime I can, I'm gonna take it up. In this case, I wanted to be the one with the hands on it. So you got the elbow pads. The arm cups are very comfortable. I'll know more tomorrow, and I'll post a follow-up quick vlog, I guess. This video should post tomorrow morning sometime. I ride in the afternoon, so Saturday you'll see some kind of vlog catch up, or I'll do a live on my Instagram at The Roaming Cyclist. So if you want to know what I'm doing and what's going on and coaching deals and those sorts of things, I have a coaching handle, but I don't really post on it that much. So I kind of dilute my own Instagram with that. But me, coaching, racing, all intertwined, that's all I do. So you got to follow me at The Roaming Cyclist if you want to know what's going on, what product. Now the next video I'm going to do after this is on the Wahoo Rival. And I'm kicking around getting the new Wahoo version 2 bolt. I have version 1 because I want to work on that touchless transition and see how that works. The Rival on first appearance is really awesome. It takes a little bit of getting used to for me because I've always been Garmin. But it's really light, super cool. It has exactly what you need. And like the Wahoo computer, it has the data you need, not the extras you don't, like Garmin has all that stuff on there. And I know you can customize the screens and all that. But Wahoo. I like to be able to see that red, you know, when I'm powering up like a reactor. Anyways, so all in all, for me, this cockpit took 5.5 hours, 6 hours to fabricate and complete to my satisfaction. Now you'll see the angled risers that Drag to Zero has doesn't exactly fit on the Trek riser. And you'll see that on Tim O'Donnell's bike as well. It is what it is. I don't know. That's not going to affect the performance or the, you know, they do a lot of draft tunnel testing there. I know I've seen a lot of athletes, their athletes go in there to the wind tunnel. And I don't think that's going to affect any kind of aerodynamic performance. This little, because essentially the air is going to go around it anyways. And really, you know, I think this is going to be more aerodynamically efficient. Just because, you know, this gap is, you have the airflow now, and then it's going to disperse past the saddle stem. And then you have the other aerodynamic benefits of the bike. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be, I think I don't know, 3-4 watts. Yeah, you know, that's not a lot. That could be a lot for somebody. That could be 2 to 3 miles an hour. I'll know more when I get it out there. I think it's going to be efficient. I can't say it is because I haven't ridden it. So I'll test this out tomorrow. If I've done it correctly, it'll come back in one piece. If not, we'll be doing a different kind of video with my back broken again. But so Drag to Zero cockpit, high-rise bars, elbow pads, BTA, and I got 2 of them. And so this is a shorter one if I want to make my, you know, elbows closer, which could happen as my back heals. I ordered extra pads for the things, the elbow cups and all that. You know, it's a one-piece cockpit now, right? And so any kind of modification or etc. is going to be a real pain in the butt. But the other one was a pain in the butt as well. At least now I have bars that I can hold on to. You know, all in all, it was tedious work. I enjoyed it. Putting it together. One side up, big up. So the Trek riser, for whatever reason, and you'll see, get that to focus. Come on. It's not going to focus. But the Trek riser, and this is the 60 millimeter one, the 45 millimeter is on there. And so had 2 knobs and then this bigger knob in the back. It's how they all connect, right? To get this cockpit and pretty much any cockpit component other than this one to work, you have to take your Dremel with a diamond blade, which is what I use, just so I can get a good, and you got to smooth this out, right? Make it flat, and then take the Dremel sander and just make that smooth. You know, it's gonna have metal, whatever. I try to use nail polish to cover it up, but I got the wrong nail polish. But so that's a big deal, right? So you gotta, if you have this bike and you're gonna do this modification, you're gonna have to smooth out these knobs with a Dremel. Use a Dremel. A Dremel is a bike fabricator or manipulator's best friend, because this is precise work. These are expensive components, and you don't want to mess that up. You need little tools to do little jobs. I got so excited I ran out of tape on the last one. So I had to change cards. If I don't splice this together perfectly, I'm not a videographer. I guess I am. Anyways, smooth the risers. DI2 Drag to Zero has the ergonomic grips for that. There are different versions of this. There's a full hand. I prefer the little one. Really saved a lot of time. I didn't have to wrap the bars. That's pretty much my race setup for the long course. Bottle between the arms, one bottle rear of the saddle, and then the aerodynamic bottle for the frame. Integrated frame storage, obviously. I get about 8 gels in there, which is what I would do for the long course. And then some kind of mixture here. If you have any questions about what I did, any questions about Drag to Zero, they're very responsive in emails and questions. I was asking a lot of questions. I'm not going to, go into this blind really, but I asked a lot of questions. They were very responsive on Instagram. Follow them on Instagram. I'm not sponsored by them whatsoever. I just support companies who support me with great customer service, which they did. They're in England. Great company. Very responsive. I really enjoyed the process. They are coming out with an adapter to fit the speed concept, but you're still going to go through the same steps, whether you wait for that or not. If you have this bike and you're tall and you're frustrated like I was, Drag to Zero has a solution. Aero Coach has a solution too, but I don't like those bars, and that's a time trial bar. We're not time trialers per se. We have to be comfortable. My position is very aggressively aerodynamic, flat, almost below horizontal. And then you have the standard position up, chest up, which you guys got to work on that, get that down. That's drag. Head up, way above the shoulders. So you got to work on your mobility and flexibility. That's my coaching tip for y'all. I'm just gonna piss some people off, but I don't care. The position you got, the better position you have on the bike, the less work you have to do to maintain speed. Watt efficiency, aerodynamic efficiency, whatever you want to call it. Save the legs on the bike, have a better run off the bike. Work on your transitions, and keep your transition areas tidy. I see a lot of untidy transition areas when I'm out and about. My rule of thumb for that is in between the front wheel. Anything else I think is encroaching, but I'm not looking to start a war on transitions. This, my friends, was the video that I have long promised on the Speed Concept Cockpit Modification, and I'm going to enunciate that modification. Overall, I'm really thrilled with how it came out, aesthetically pleasing, which I look for. No wires showing, which I despise. And really clean lines. And so we'll see tomorrow. I'm gonna take her out for a test spin. I'm gonna put the screws to her, as they say. I've been riding really well the last month, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that translates. I'm gonna put the RSL 51 tire wheels on here. I have to adjust. I don't like doing that because I have to adjust the brake calipers every time I do that. I'm not sure why. But I think they're a little bit, I don't know, whatever. It's an easy thing to do. But, so Dremel, titanium alloy drill bits. Really, when you're drilling carbon, you got to be careful. Get the best bit you can. Titanium alloy. I used Spider. I'm not sponsored by them either, but they're titanium alloy. They're coated. They really made clean cuts through the arm pads to mount the BTA. And then of course the Dremel, I use the cutting bit as well to make the holes, so I can position the arm pads how I wanted to, like you would see in a normal one. I didn't want to make more holes than I needed to. And so that's what you got. new cockpit day, I guess, new bike day, whatever. So that's it for me. If you have any questions, put a comment down below, like the video, hit the bell button, subscribe to the video. I really strive to be really frank and really honest about what I'm experiencing with whatever my equipment is. Check out my other videos. This last speed concept video got quite a lot of views, and thank you for that. I really appreciated that. You know, that helps me beat the algorithm. So make sure if you're in the triathlon, duathlon, cycling, swimming, sort of swimming, definitely distance running, give me a like and a follow. And you'll know when I'm coming out. I test shoes. I got new shoes I'm gonna have to be testing. I test all the equipment, so you don't have to. You can save your bucks, because I'm wasting mine, and I don't care. Carla Mason Photography cares, but I don't care. It's all about helping me, help you, and I've been kicking around a long time, and I just want to give back to everybody. So if you're interested in coaching, send me a text, 571-331-4797. That is my real phone number. Don't send me crazy stuff. Or if you're interested in coaching, you want to get better as an athlete, it is in you to do that. You just need the right plan. I'm not looking to snake anybody, so don't go leaving your coach. But if you're a beginner, intermediate, whatever, I can help you mentally as well as physically get in the right race mindset, training mindset, to perform at your best for whatever goal you have. That's my job. My job as an athlete is to win, and I feel like any race that I've entered, that is my goal. Now within the race, there's little goals here and there. But I don't believe in goal setting. I believe in having a program to achieve what you want to do. Goals are reasons to have excuses on why you didn't perform. Have a program, follow the program, and achieve what you need to achieve, right? That's going to be it for me. This was a long video. I hope you stick around and watch the whole thing. You probably won't. But new cockpit, I think it's going to be fast, drag to zero. Super stoked to try it tomorrow. I have strength in the morning with Dave. I got up tomorrow's a run day on the lever, and then I'm going to be biking now that I'm done with this project. So, I'm Mike. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. All the information, websites, sponsor discounts that I can give, etc. are down below, which my athletes also benefit from. And that's going to be it. So it's going to be Friday. So have a good Friday, and a great weekend. Train smart. Train smart with a purpose. All right, I'm out.